Hello everybody and welcome to this brand new Let's Play featuring one of my favorite games of recent memory, and that is Frostpunk. Now recently we just finished a Let's Play on Imperator Rome and I had such a blast playing that we ended up doing like 30 episodes. The response was just overwhelming. It was so well received that I'm definitely going to be doing more Let's Plays in future. But until Imperator Rome gets its next update and maybe even Stellaris gets its next DLC, I thought we'd wind the clock back a year and go back to something that I truly love, which is Frostpunk. Now this is perfect for Let's Plays because if you don't know, it's like a survival colony management game where you have to make tough choices all the time about who lives, who dies, how you govern your people, how you feed them, how you take care of them and stuff like that. It's just awesome. And it's actually been receiving like a lot of updates since I last played it. I haven't played it in about a year. It's received a bunch of updates, it's received a season pass and some DLCs, and there's more on the horizon. So I think it's a perfect time to kind of jump in, refamiliarize myself with the game, and hopefully guide you through it as well if you haven't played it. Now we've got some fun stuff that's going to be coming up in this Let's Play just in general. For those who don't know, I'm supported pretty heavily now on Patreon. I really support that, or I really appreciate that. I support you guys supporting me. I do. I really appreciate the support that we get over there. So much so that I've included all the names of people on Patreon into the colony that we're going to be starting with. Now I'm just going to be playing through the main scenario. We're going to be playing on hard, so bumping up the challenge. I'm a little rusty, so we'll see how it goes. It might end up being a very short Let's Play. We'll have to just see. But there is also now, for people who don't know, there's an endless mode, so if you want to play endlessly like a sandbox, traditional sandbox city builder, you can. You can do it more geared towards survival, or you can do it more geared towards just building, which is pretty cool. And then there's also expansions. This is all part of their season pass. You have the rifts. The next one's going to be called The Last Autumn. I haven't played them yet, but I've heard good things about The Last Autumn. Not so good things about the rift, but I haven't played it yet, so I don't know. Anyway, so let's get into it. There's 4 scenarios now in the game. We're going to go with a new home. Like I said, we're going to be playing on hard. And let's have a read of the situation here. So to preserve civilization from the chaos of its own downfall, we have fled to the end of the world. We will have to adapt to survive. Who will we become in the process? Now, before we jump into it, one last thing I need to remind you guys is that there's actually a new channel called Republic of Let's Play in the Republic of Play family of channels, where all Let's Plays are going to be hosted over there, but the first part of every Let's Play will go up on my main channel, and that's just to kind of declutter the main channel. For people who don't want Let's Plays or prefer the more scripted, concise videos, that's all still going to be there for them. And then instead, if you want to go specifically to Let's Plays, it's just going to be in a different place. It'll all be in one playlist, so hopefully it's easy to follow. But if you're interested, go subscribe on over to that other channel. I think it needs 1,000 subscribers before I can really utilize all the features of YouTube, so I'd appreciate it if people did. No worries if not. Let's get into it.
We roam the still, cold world. No horizon in sight. The rulers of old, stripped of pride and glory. It feels as yesterday we were turning the wheels of progress. Until the frost stopped it all. Suddenly, without a warning. When tides had changed, they changed for all of us, no matter wealth or class. We lost our world to snow, and with it, our last traces of humanity. We bid farewell to plenty, and for those who remained came the time to adapt. We decided to leave our homes and head north. We roamed for weeks, maybe months, leaving behind all the things we once believed had made us. It was hope pushed us forward. Slowly, step by step. We knew the cost of our journey, and we paid the price 100 times. finally, the time has come to build the last city on Earth.
Alright, so a new home. We fled from London and crossed the sea to reach the frozen north. On the way, our convoy was hit by a blizzard and scattered. A handful of us managed to reach the site of this generator, only to find it frozen solid and abandoned. Why is no one here? Did any of our people survive the blizzard? Are there others out there? Whatever we do, we should expect the worst now that the world as we know it has crumbled. We have to survive. Alright, that's the generator. Fight the cold. We need to get the generator working. It provides heat and power to the other buildings. Without it, we'll freeze to death. Stockpile some coal and start the generator. So I'm just going to pause it there. So what I'm going to do now is rename all of the characters to feature all of the Patreon names and backers that we have on the channel. Back in a moment. Alright, so I've just got done naming everybody, and already the place has just immediately come to life for me. Now, you guys might not know the names as well as I do, obviously, but for me, you know, I deal with these names every time I make a video. I see them in the credits, I make new credits lists every month, I interact with these people on Discord, they send me messages. You know, I feel really involved and attached with a lot of my patrons, so seeing them in this game, just like when I click random people, is so cool. So every single adult male, their name is being pulled from Patreon. Now, some people on Patreon don't have their full name up there. They use aliases instead, which is fine. And what I've done with that is I've actually given them to children. So children then have their nickname assigned to whatever the alias was of the person on Patreon. So N. Del Pino, on Patreon, they're actually just called Letherington, right? So that's how I've kind of done that. Now, the only people that don't use the names are adult females. Adult females, so this person's parent, for instance, Matilda Del Pino, she doesn't actually exist on Patreon, but her husband does, Lionel Alba Del Pino. So his last name, I don't know if that's actually his correct last name. I don't know if it's Alba Del Pino or just Del Pino. Probably just had a text limit here, but either way, you get the idea. So males, then their names are going to be their family name that carry on for everyone, for the wife and the kids, and then the kids are going to use the alias. So essentially speaking, just to boil it down, every single name, except for adult females, comes from Patreon. And even the adult females, their last name typically comes from Patreon, unless they are alone in this world and they don't have a spouse. So that's essentially how we're doing it. So every person that I click on, Christopher Ogcastany, you know, you guys can check the credits if you weren't sure. They're in there, and I recognize these names, and I'm going to be pretty torn up with some of these people if they die, especially the ones that are very active on Discord and we play games with. So I think it's super cool. Alright, so that's enough of that. Let's get into the actual gameplay. Now, before we begin, let's get you familiar with what's going on up on the top bar of resources, and that's pretty much all you'll need to know to kind of get a handle on things, and we'll explain things as we go from then on out. So at the very top left, we have coal, and that's going to be kind of our burn rate during the day. So we stockpile coal. I think there is a stockpile limit. I'm not sure what it is right now. We'll have to catch up on that. Then we have wood, steel, and steam cores. Now, steam cores are something that we're going to be using later to power machines, but for now, all we're going to be concerned with is coal to turn on the generator, wood to build, steel to build, and then we have raw food, which gets turned into food rations. So one raw food turns into 2 food rations. Pretty simple. We have our time here, you know, if we want to go normal speed or faster. Then we have the actual daily schedule, which I don't know if you can directly change. You can do different shifts. Anyway, we'll get into that. But there is set times during the game for when people work, for when they have their free time, when they go to bed and stuff like that. And then there's the days that go by. So day 1, 2, 3, 4, you know, when the temperature is going to fall. And then, of course, on top, we have our giant temperature gauge, which is letting us know right now that it's negative 20 degrees. Of course, we are using Celsius. Sorry for my American supporters out there, but Celsius is just the way I got to go. It's negative 20 below freezing. So that's just the way it is. So it's a pretty serious situation. So we start off needing to fight the cold. We have to stockpile 200 coal and turn the generator on. We also have 80 homeless, so there's no houses being built. We've just arrived here at this generator. One thing that always got me about this game is you never really see how they get up and down. There's a kind of a broken lift thing here. I don't understand that, but either way, we can get in and out, sort of. You eventually build a beacon later, so you can actually leave and go on the overworld and have a look at different things, which is cool. Alright, so to begin getting our resources, what we need to do is actually just gather them from different piles here. So we have steel wreckage, wooden crates, coal piles, and things like that. They are finite resources. There is a finite amount there that we're going to have to grab. We assign people to do it. As I said before, just a very quick recap, there is workers, and then engineers, and then children. And you can actually decide in the Book of Laws whether or not you want to employ children to have child labor. Either you can have them do safe jobs and they'll work and do their bit, or you can put them in child shelters where we just look after the kids and they don't really provide anything. And that's basically the two options that we'll have to be faced with. Now, I don't like making decisions like that until we feel like maybe we're comfortable in that decision. If we need the kids to put them to work, then we'll have to do it. And once you sign the law, that's it. There's no going back. And there's loads of those different laws. Alright, so let's begin. I know I'm being kind of slow, but hopefully I've set the scene. It's a little chilly in here. Grab your cup of hot cocoa as we get on into the Christmas period, or the holiday period, as they say. And let's begin. Alright, so 80 homeless, we got to sort that situation out. Actually, sorry, very last thing is the temperature overlay. The different things that you need to know about is obviously heat radiates outwards from the generator, and that's why you build in a circle around it. And then you have different temperature levels. So we have comfortable, livable, chilly, cold, very cold, and freezing. And the game is all about sickness. So if we're in freezing or even any of these, there's a chance of getting sick. So this is a very high risk of getting ill. And this is a low risk of getting ill, and this is prevents getting ill. So people are living in comfortable heating. They're not going to be sick. They're not going to be causing issues, and they'll be fine. If they do get sick, they need to go to treatment, and they don't work, and your production starts to slow down, and everything falls apart. So there's a really finely, delicately balanced economy to making sure that you always have at least 80 or 90% of your people working and doing things for the most part. So it's a really challenging game. I find it to be really challenging anyway. Alright, this only building thing that you need to see here is our stockpile. Oh, there we go. We have up to 900 coal at the moment. And you can build extra stockpiles to be able to store more. Okay, so what we need first, probably mostly, is to focus on getting as much wood as possible. So we're going to get some wood, we're going to get some steel, more wood. So I'm just assigning 15, 15, 15. And then you can actually check the workers that are going to be on this. So Amintz Den Kennard, Timo Sommer, Kaelin Holden. These guys are all going to go out there and grab some of those wood crates. We've got 20 available people left for work, 15 engineers and 5 workers. Gonna get just a small group, just a little bit on coal for now. Actually, yeah, we'll get 15 engineers on the coal, and then we just need a little bit more wood, I would say. And I think we're ready to go. Let's let time play. So the interesting thing here is, as time progresses, your resources go up based on the jobs that you've assigned. So we can see that these are operating at 100% efficiency. I know it's like they haven't actually reached there yet, but just for the sake of gameplay, they've done it where that doesn't quite match up. They're assigned on the job, so during work time, those jobs just make you money. So it's not necessarily all working in perfect real time, but you get the general idea. All right, we've got a message here. Workers needed. There's so much to do and not much hands to do it. A quick way of addressing this problem is to put your children to work. No, not now. We've already been through that. And that kind of thing pops up every now and then. Who have we got here? We've got Margaret Lord, spouse of Vind Lord. Nathan Lee Fleming, lack of shelter, going to work, not at risk of getting ill. That's actually something I'm not too sure why that is. At the very beginning of the game, most people are at like no risk. Maybe it's just like a bit of a safety net at the beginning. I'm not too sure why that is, but either way. Okay, so we're going to get tutorials up here every now and then. I'm actually going to go through this a little bit just to... for myself, my own sake, just to be 100% sure of what's going on, and also to be able to show you guys in case I need to explain some stuff, and that way you learn in case you didn't already know about it. So we're gathering a nice amount of coal here, wood, steel, steam. Oh, we're not obviously gathering steam cores, but yeah, so steel, wood, and coal. All right, everything's going up nicely. Now the reason I'm focusing a little bit more on wood in the beginning is because I want to build gathering posts. So 15 wood and 5 steel, and these can actually gather in an area of effect, and you assign people to the building rather than to the piles themselves, and that way these buildings come with a bit of a heat level. So if they're just working the outdoors, you know, the temperature is chilly on this thing, so as they're working there, it's chilly at the moment, they have a low risk of getting ill. ideally, if we pop them in a gathering post, they'd have an extra base heating level, so we know that above chilly is livable, so it's a very low risk of getting ill. Someone still might get ill, but they'd have a less chance of that happening. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to get one of these set up and assign them to it. I'll just pop it there. And then we need to build a road. And we'll just build it out like that, because we're going to be building houses inside. Alright, cool. So that's going to get built. And then we'll build another one out here when we get time. So there's 3 piles here, 3 piles here. So it's a good area of effects little thing to build. Whereas up here might not be maybe as relevant, because there's only 2 piles. There's 2 over here, and there's 2 here. So 2 coal, 1 steel, wood, steel, and then we have wood, steel. So that's the situation. So yeah, we can actually build... We don't want to actually build much more than that. We'll keep people on the wood, and that way we'll start getting the houses tonight. So let's start laying out the houses for people. Or the tents, I should say. We start off with tents. So we can only afford to build 2 right now. And we'll just speed it up just a little bit as we let time go on. Alright, cool. So everything's alright. Pretty good. We have 3 days, basically, until the temperature is going to drop by 2 levels. And when that happens, I want to have everybody in a gathering post at best, right? We don't want anyone gathering out in the open freezing when it's like negative 40 degrees. This would be very rough. Okay, so you can speed up time by clicking the game speed options, etc., etc. Okay, it hasn't told us about the game will slow down to normal speed when something important happens, as well as each day at 5 a.m. So every day at 5 a.m., even if we're blitzing through, it'll slow down at 5 a.m. because I believe at 6 is when people get up to go to work. Now, people are still gathering, I think, before they build, and they'll wait till free time to actually do the building, I believe, unless there's free people already. But there's no free people right now, so they're not going to be building anything. Shouldn't be a big deal, I don't think. We'll see. Man, I feel like, you know, I'm taking care of my patrons here. They take care of me, now I'm trying to take care of them. It's a scary feeling. I'm gonna, you know, I don't want any of them to die. Imagine if it was like... Here's the thing, I mean, only content creators might really get the gravitas of this, but it's like every patron that dies, you lose them. Fuck me, that would be rough. I'd be like, no way am I playing this. Alright, so yeah, that's to do with building outside, valid placement, invalid, conditional placement. So yeah, you can actually rotate buildings as well. And we build outwards in that radial grid. And this is as far as we can zoom out at the moment. Okay. End of shift, it's free time, it's 6 p.m. So now they're starting to build. So we've gotten 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tents up and running. We want to get everyone housed, so we need 8. 6, 7, and 8. And that leaves just enough room to get a medical post as well, which we're going to need. But for now, people can start actually building their houses throughout the night. And we're going to power on the generator for the first time. We have 152 coal. Let's go. I think they're just telling me to turn it on. They're like, the generator's off. So there we go. We're heating the areas. These places are now livable, which is good. Even though, see, it's interesting, the gathering post is not in range of the generator. The generator, essentially here, while we have things powered on, heats outwards in layers of 1. Okay, so those houses are actually built now. So now this area is now comfortable. No chance of people getting sick once these places are built. So essentially we have all of our levels here, right? We've got level 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we can also enter overdrive, and that'll raise the heating level by 1. We're at the max level right now, so with the generator on, our first ring is going to be comfortable. Our second ring is not going to receive the generator heat at all. It's not like it falls off as it gets further out, it just stops at a certain point. So our generator is only powerful enough to heat this initial circle. Now when we get to steam level 2, it's going to go up by 2 levels of heat, but it's still only going to be 1 range. If we increase the range, then we'll go up by 2 levels. Hopefully everybody gets that. So that's essentially it. That's essentially how it works. And then you have your consumption rate. We're consuming 144 per day, apparently. We can turn it on and off, but ideally you want to kind of have it on pretty much all the time, because people are considered to be living in these houses, and to be there, even like I said, maybe sometimes when they're traveling to and from a place, they're considered to be in their houses unless they're at work during work hours, and then they're considered to be at the workplace. So that's why you want to keep the workplaces heated as well. And one of the first technologies I think we'll go for is indoor heaters, so that we can power them on during the when the temperature drops. And it looks like it's going to be a rough temperature drop because it's going to go down to -40 for at least 2 days. We can't see the temperature rise anywhere yet, so it's going to be a rough one. All right, let's speed it up. We're down to 40 homeless now, so 4 houses have been built. And we can actually check on the houses and see who's going to be living there. Oscar Thorburn, there he is. Addy Gooby Dedick, Nathan Woodington, Mary Ward, who's obviously going to be a female who's married to Edward Ward, and their children, Commodore and Male Dictus. I love the names, man. It's so cool. Alright, so temperature. So like I said, comfortable, livable, chilly, cold, very cold, freezing, etc. Streets. All structures in the city must be connected to the generator with streets, otherwise they just won't function. To build a street, open the construction panel. Okay, we've done that one. And then the generator level as we described. Is that it? No, we just have the one house left now to go. So let's just speed it up again. There we go. So everyone has homes. We have one sick though already, just like that. We'll have to check who that is. Now we can't build the medical station yet. If we didn't build the gathering post first, we actually could have. But oh well. It's interesting. I can't believe somebody got sick. Maybe it was just before they moved in, because there's actually no chance of getting sick right now. People are all comfortable. And that is, who's that going to be? Oh, Kaylin Holden. God damn it. He's working at the wood crates. He's living in a tent, very comfortable now, but he is unwell, so we'll have to see him to get him seen to at the medical post in the morning, because we're gonna need to just get some wood before we can actually put him on it. So what we're gonna do is take people off maybe this pile and start putting them on this instead. So yeah, get off that, get on that. So we can zoom out and have a look at where we've got people. And if you hover over this, you can actually see as well. So we have 10 people not doing anything right now, because a gathering post can only have 10 people on it. So there's still kind of a reason to have people on the actual individual resource points. But I'm actually going to go for... Well, yeah, let's just keep getting more wood. So we're going to really be doubling up on the wood and the steel and everything here. Actually, we'll go out here. All right, cool. And then once we have enough, the first thing we're going to do, slap down the medical post. And the medical post can actually only be operated by engineers. So that's the reason for the multiple classes. Engineers can do tech. They can do medicine. They can do a few other specializations. And then I think they can also work on food. I think both can work on food, though. We'll get to that, I'm sure. I think engineers, at some point, there's like machines that only they can like operate the buildings for. Raphael Senecal says, we're doing fine, all things considered. What the fuck? There's 6 people sick? How is there 6 people sick? The whole place says it's comfortable. I don't understand. Did they get sick during the day? That's a lot of sick people. Commodore, Letherington, Nerdington, Joseph Fallon, Amelia de Canard, the wife of Eminence de Canard, and Kaylin Holden. Shit. 6 people. Oh my god. Well, that's the game. We'll have to deal with it. Alright. What's the deal? What's your problem? Critical shortage. The number of sick is rising. And we don't have enough materials to build a medical post. Perhaps a short burst of effort could help us gather the necessary resources. So this is an interesting one. We could do emergency shift. New ability. You can force workers in any facility to work for the next 24 hours. Use the emergency shift. Will raise discontent. And it'll rise slightly in general just from taking this law. I'm going to do it because it's not a choice law. It's just a linear law. So you might as well do them. You can only sign laws every day. Or I think it's every 18 hours. So you might as well get the law now while we can. We might need it at some point. Okay, so it's still free time at the moment. Yeah, we'll have to wait until they can get on the posts. So let's have a look at this. I think it's important to read about this now that we got some sick people. Cold homes or workplaces cause people to get sick. Without proper care, they can become gravely ill and they might die. The sick can be treated in medical posts, but the gravely ill need an infirmary to be treated. Until you build one, you can save their lives by signing one of 2 laws, the radical treatment law or the sustained life law. So yeah, we don't have any gravely ill right now, but if you leave people sick for long enough without treatment, they will become gravely ill. So we have the day-night cycle. The city wakes up at 6. People have some free time until work shift starts around 8. At 8, unless there's construction work to do, in which case they'll do that during the free time. After they finish their shift at 6, they are free to help with construction again, which can keep them up well past midnight. You can extend the 10-hour work shift if you sign certain laws. So that might be the situation that maybe people were out working or building, and that considered, maybe that was the reason they got sick. So I thought it was, yeah, I mean, that would make sense. That would make sense. I wonder, could we see, if we were to have a look at, we built around this way, so you would assume most sick people will be in the latter half of the buildings that took longer to complete. But I don't know if that's the case, or if it shows me. I don't think it gives me a symbol of who's sick. Not here, anyway. We'd have to, like, compare it to this list. So let's see, let's just have a look at Joseph Fallon. We'll select him, see what tent he lives in. He lives in this one. So then if we were to then have a look at Kaylin Holden, who's one of our first to fall ill, he lives in this one. So it kind of starting to make sense. And then let's check Commodore. Commodore lives in this tent. Ah, well, that doesn't make sense to me, but okay. I don't know. He's gotten sick anyway, so that's just the way it is. Building abilities. You unlocked a new building ability by signing a law. Yeah, that's to do the 24-hour shift thing. That can make people really unwell, though, doing that. And by the way, this is as far as I can zoom in. I would zoom in further, but we can't. In photo mode, we can a little bit, but not much further than this. I'll just show you guys actually really quickly. So we'll go photo mode, and then this is as far as you can ever get. Now, we haven't also made our food yet, so no one's eaten. And, alright, it's almost 6 or 8 o'clock, so I'll speed it up. Everyone's going back out to their jobs. And let's get building health medical posts. So we have to wait until we have 25 wood. Alright, so we have it now. Alright, let's slam the medical post down. We can actually get 2. I'm pretty tempted to get 2, because you don't have to... Although we also need the... Yeah, we need the cookhouse, don't we? So maybe we shouldn't get 2. Food, we need cookhouse. Cookhouse is pretty big, so we can't have a cookhouse and a medical bay in the same spot. But we're not going to be cooking that much food. It's only every now and then we cook food. So we don't need that immediately. I think health is of greater concern. Excuse me. And then we can rotate it. Let's face it inwards. We're out of wood. That's alright. Okay. So that's not going to be built for a while, which is a bit of a concern. So I'm going to maybe tell people to stop this, and then they'll start building this. So this isn't actually so there is a bit of travel time. I take it all back. There is a bit of travel time. You know, it takes time for people to get there to actually do the building. But the resources, I guess it's just lenient with the resources, right? They seem to go up as soon as you assign people to it. So we're building the building now. Get that medical post up and running, and then we'll assign the engineers to it. Alright, cool. So, engineers, where are ye? Oh, we must have just depleted a coal pile somewhere, because we have a bunch of free workers. Alright, so let's see. There they are, 15 engineers. Okay, cool. So 5 engineers on the medical bay for now. The gathering post is up and running. We're only 1 day away now from our next temperature fall. So what we want to do now is set up another... Just trying to think what we need to do, what priorities we need to do things. Like, we need to get tech up and running, so that's kind of a priority. We also need food up and running. We need to stockpile 200 coal even just for the story. So let's do that, I suppose. So let's keep hammering on the coal for now, and the wood to allow us to build. All right, there we go. So let's have a look in the medical bay. I'll just slow down time just a little bit. There we go. Alright, so our patients are Nerdington, Letherington, Commodore, Amelia, DeCanard, and Joseph. They are all in there. They're going to take about a day to heal up. And then we have Dean Palmer, Mordecai Davidson, Haxo Ironwolf, Nikolai Parlog, and Nathan Lee Fleming. They are engineers. They are working to heal. They are doctors. Wood crates has been depleted. So yeah, that is what happened. So this is actually going to run out of stuff pretty soon. Maybe being a bit stupid not putting them on the ones that didn't have a pile yet, but we're going to be putting out a gathering post out here anyway, which I'm actually going to do now. Can only get 3, we can't get 4, so yeah, we'll just pop it out here somewhere. And we can actually dismantle this and get some stuff back, so it's not the end of the world having it set up. Alright, cool. Now, like I said, we could probably have another medical post. I think it's worth doing. And we only need to assign one engineer to it, which is the good news. Because there's only one extra sick person. The sick person who's not being treated right now is Kalen Holden, so we'll have to treat him. Let's have a read of the workforce. Some buildings, such as the medical post or workshop, require intense mental labor from the people employed there, and as such, they can only be staffed by engineers. Workers only provide manual labor. Children can't be employed at all initially. That's true, so eventually you can get medical interns, I think, which are kids. Right, and we also want to start maybe hunting for food and then getting our hunter's hut built, or not our hunter's hut, our gathering cookhouse built. So let's get the cookhouse built on layer 2. I think if this gets to negative 40 degrees, it doesn't operate actually. So being out this far means it won't operate all the time, but it's not a priority as much as the other buildings are. We can kind of get through, we can kind of cook all the food we have within a day. So I think that's reasonable. So we'll start building that as well then. And then I guess, yeah, Hunter's Hut would be good. And we can then send these people off. Let me just see. I want to build it somewhere like here. And then they can go off and search food for us. Kind of built the road a bit wrong here, actually. It's fine. We'll just... Oh, we actually don't have the wood. Oh, shit. Huh. Well, we'll have to... I guess we'll just have to wait. We'll have to wait till tomorrow. The hunting only happens during the night, so that's a bit of an interesting one as well. It takes 15 people, and they go off during the night, and they each bring back 1 food, I think? And then you can get a technology that actually lets them bring back more food when they get, like, sleighs, I think. How's everyone doing? Dean Palmer. Dean Palmer? Wasn't he working at the... Yeah, where's he going? He's going to build right now. He should be in the workplace. Going to build. I feel like he should be treating people, but okay. Alright, let's speed it up. And then we'll get an engineer in here to heal up Kalen, who's still sick. And we're starting to get hungry people now. No one's starving, but people are hungry, and tomorrow we'll make the food. So people are going to be basically working this food during the night or in the morning, and then we'll just take them off the job once they're done, put them on something else. And then during the free time, people will go get their meals. I don't think having low food like makes you more prone to being sick. Hunters. So hunger, number of hungry, starving people, efficiency, 15 raw food per day, hothouse, cookhouse. So yeah, so the cookhouse prepares meals for people. It produces 2 food rations from 1 unit of raw food. It's provided by hunters and hothouses, and is sometimes found by scouts during the exploration. When there's... Oh shit, I actually didn't realize that. When there are no food rations to be had, people will start eating raw food. Uh-oh. Well, I guess if we don't want them to become starving, because then that'll be really bad if they eat the raw food. And there's our gathering posts, so we'll put people on that. And we're about to hit our another negative 20, so negative 40 degrees. Coal is fine though, we're burning at a pretty good rate. Unfortunately, we just don't have enough wood to build this. I should have just built it in here. It was a mistake building it there, because we could have had them go out during the night to gather more food. But oh well. At least everyone's been treated. I'm pretty happy about that. And everyone is in a place where it's comfortable right now, so no more chances of getting sick, I wouldn't think. Apart from the people that are, I guess, walking around. Alright, let's let time play. So we're only on, what, day 3. But everything's going good so far. Just have some hungry people. It's not too bad. We still haven't stockpiled enough coal, but we'll get people on it. Actually, we really need to get people on it pretty soon. And then we also need to build our tech building so we can heat up the place. Vin Lord, let's get to work. We can't let up now. Indeed, Vin. Joseph Fallon says, get a move on, chaps. There's still plenty of work to do. So yeah, let's get people off that. More people on that, and then more people on the coal piles, if we can. Got a message here. Resources shortage. We're getting short on resources. Our needs are great and growing by the hour. To address this, we can enact a law that allows to extend working hours. Already did that. Oh, the extended shift. building a city in this frozen hell requires sacrifice. So after introducing this law, new shift length, you can extend the workday in any facility to 14 hours. Now the emergency shift forces workers in any facility to work for 24 hours. So that's actually not so bad, the extended shift. Discontent will rise slightly, but let's enable that. I think that's a good one. So if we want, we can extend it from 6 a.m. to 8 p.m. That's pretty cool. 14 hours, people will barely have time to eat and sleep. I know many will complain, but we must work harder to survive. Nancy Parlog understands, and so does Eva Davidson. Right, so we've got more people on coal now, so that should help our stockpile a bit. So we have 2 new sick people.
Time to get to work.
Which is interesting because, yeah, we've actually healed up some people already, which is good. Want to keep that churn going. And now we're starting to make food. And there we go. We can actually see it being turned into food rations now. I think some of it might have been eaten. I didn't actually catch that, but some of the raw food may have been eaten. Oh no, I think the rations are just starting to be eaten, that's all. So that's okay. So yeah, 2 new sick people. Who is it? It's Jane Fallon and Kaylin Holden, still sick. It says going to work. Can't you be treated, man? Can't you be treated? Let's see where all the engineers are right now. So there's 5 there, 5 there. Okay, so let's take a couple off this. Put more in there, just so that we're treating everybody. Everybody should just go get taken care of. That's a priority. And we've almost gotten through all of the raw food. It's been cooked. Eventually you can actually make different meals and things like that, so that's kind of nice. And our gathering posts are pretty warm. They're chilly, but I mean, let's be real. That's pretty warm, all things considered. If it's just a little chilly, I think you're doing pretty good for -20 outdoors. And they're gathering the steel and wood from here. Okay, great. Didn't manage to get a resource gathering thing up here yet, though. That's what we really want for the 2 coal piles. We're going to need that, and we need it real soon. So we'll build that tonight. Yep, the sick people are being treated. The hungry are getting fed. There's 78 food rations now, so hopefully they'll eat that tonight. Yep, that's all fine. Switching between buildings. So we don't need people here anymore. Let's get off the shift there, and let's put them more on coal. So all the food has been cooked up. This building is now done. So we could just halt operation. You're all good. All right, cool. Stockpile 200 coal. We're almost at 200. Almost. Should reach it. Excellent. All right. Pretty good. What we'll need to do tonight then is build our technology building. So we're actually researching some stuff. So we have Jane Fallon is sick. Wood crates are depleted here. Gathering posts depleted. Okay, so this is done now. So we can actually dismantle this building and we'll get 12 wood and 4 steel back. And I guess we could also dismantle the street. Just to there, maybe. Oh, don't tell me you can't get there. Oh no, they can get there. Good. The generator hums with reassuring warmth. So we reached our goal, but we shouldn't take it for granted. If the generator goes down, the city dies. Be mindful of cold reserves. Now food. There will be no city if we starve to death. Secure a way to provide raw food and build a cookhouse to prepare meals. So I think we've already done that. Yeah, so we've already immediately done that. People from our convoy, with basic resources secured for now, we can try to rescue the people we left behind, build a beacon, scout the Frostland, and save as many survivors from our expedition as possible. You need a workshop to design plans for more advanced buildings. So we can also connect this hunter's hut up. We need to do that immediately so we can go out tonight hunting. And then we have to put people on it. We'll start assigning them to it now. Oh, no. Do I need to build a road for them to dismantle? I think I might. They're not dismantling it. Oh man, that would suck. I mean, lesson learned if that's the case, but damn. Yeah, it seems to be the case. They weren't dismantling it. I don't know, it says 0 out of 5. I mean, they kind of started dismantling it, then he went off to do something else. Who was that? Matilda Del Pino, come on. Oh well. Well, at least we're storing up a nice amount of coal, although we're about to hit this -20, so I really wanted to get that done. Okay, so the workday is over. So people should go in there. Let's get people off the coal pile for now. Get them on hunting. Although they're going to be really tired if they're, you know, constantly working like that. This pile is done. Okay, cool. So now we need another coal pile. Or gathering post, I should say, out by the coal here. Because it's going to get freezing. And we'll connect up the roads that way. So those are the priorities. Dismantle that, build that, and then also get the technology building up and running for tomorrow. Which we're going to slam down, I don't know, here I guess would be nice. And then that needs a road as well. Alright. Simples. Cool, and we have enough resources to build all this. So this seems fine. Oh, we've got people doing nothing actually right now. But they'll be the ones building, I suppose. Yeah, the dismantling is going well. Nice. People are being fed. There's only 2 sick people. Man, we're doing it. People are being healed. I love to see it. So there's actually only 1 patient in there. Cool. So we're going to probably decommission one of these. Not dismantle them, but like take some workers out of them because there's too many. So for instance, I think it's 1 worker for 1 patient. I think that's how it works. So yeah, Grace Ironwolf and Jamie McBain, they're staying home, those 2 workers. So let's take them off. I'm assuming that'll do that. And then same with here, right? These people are going to be, most of them are going to be staying at home because there's not that many patients. So we'll take 2 people off this one as well. Select our first research, which is going to be heaters. We need the heaters up and running. And that allows you to activate individual buildings' extra heat. Now you do consume more coal, but I think it's important. It costs 10 wood to do that. And then we have 5 on it. And it's not going to begin research till tomorrow. And also the boys are out now gathering more food. So that's all well and good. And the next gathering post is up and running, which will assign people to for the morning. And that's coal sorted. So take people off this. We do not need people out. No one should be gathering out in the freezing cold tomorrow because it's just far too cold. It might not be even a bad idea to build another gathering post if we can, just right now. We've just got about enough to do it, so. Because, 2 coal piles going at the same time, we can only put 10 people in it on this. So that's a low amount of coal coming in. So we really need 2, especially if we're going to be using heaters. So I think that's important to do. There's only 2 people building on it right now. I'll just have to leave it. It doesn't seem to change. I can't keep moving people around all the time. They need to sleep, damn it. So 4 people are sick, 3 in treatment. Jimmy Clarenson, Halen Holden, Jane Fallon, and Rupert Fuller. Hope they do okay. So research. So let's see what new ones. Weather changes. So yeah, the weather is going to change. When it's colder outside, the temperature inside buildings drop as well. Use the workshop to develop new stuff. Yep. Research is grouped into tiers, etc., etc. All right. Well, I mean, we're surviving and we're healing people. I mean, I don't know. I think we're doing just fine. Let's get all the engineers we can on these buildings for now. Just so that we churn through the sick people as quick as possible. Alright, they're still building. There we go. Negative 40 degrees. So that's a rough one. So everyone is now chilly. Low risk of getting ill. Still low risk of getting ill. But you can see that our gathering posts now are also... Now they're cold. So moderate risk of getting ill. So we really want to get the heaters up and running as soon as we can. Once we get this technology done. And it doesn't start for another 30 minutes. But once it does... Then we can hopefully get heaters and stave off the moderate risk. Keep it as a low risk. Lucas Molina says, I hope I don't freeze to death on duty. Jesus. The temperature's starting to make life really difficult, says Nancy. Alright, let's assign people to this. So at least they're all in their coal piles. No one's out gathering, right? So that should mitigate risk as much as we really can. And we just got some... Did we get new food in? No, it hasn't arrived just yet. It'll arrive soon. It takes 12 hours and they've been away for 11. They're going to bring in 13 food, so that's 26 food rations. There's 9 hungry right now. So we're taking care of it, I think. Just about. Now we can also activate the generator overdrive, which it just reminded me of, which is if we want to increase that heat level, we can do that. Now, many buildings, such as the cookhouse or medical post, must be at least chilly or warmer inside to function. Place them in a heat zone around the generator or steam hub, otherwise they could stop working when the temperature falls low enough. So yes, that's something I did fail to mention, that the reason I wanted to build a medical post in close by is that these things really need to stay warm. Not only to prevent the workers there getting sick, but also just to function at all. They do not function if they become less than chilly, and they're chilly now. So if the temperature dropped by 10 degrees, and the levels are always in 10s, if it dropped another 10, these wouldn't work. We'd have to have the overdrive on or have steam level 2, which we don't have yet. So, you know, there's priorities that need to be kind of put into place there. So the Book of Laws, do we need to enact anything? I don't think so. No one's died, so I think we're okay. Children are out playing, they don't need to be working, they're doing just fine. We have 5 people not doing anything, so where could we put them? We're not building, so we could definitely get them somewhere. This coal pile is done or full, so I guess what we'll do is just put them in here. This makes sense. So resume operation. It's inoperative because it's too cold to actually cook food. Well, if we turn on a heater, it'll be fine. So we'll just leave those 5 doing nothing for now. It's a bit inefficient, but I just don't want them out, you know, dying of the cold. Alright, we're at 10%. It's going to take a full day to get this research. So there's not much to do. Not much to do other than just speed up time, hope for the best. Coal is rapidly going up though, which is great. But like I said, we're going to be burning through it very quickly. Alright, so family torn apart. People from our convoy. Sir, a woman came forward after we built the workshop. She said that her husband and daughter didn't reach the city with the main group, but she's sure they're still out there. She wants to join the first scout team we'll send out. She urges you to hurry. We'll do what we can. Alright, let's keep going. Our food has arrived, which is good. Some people have been fed. Some people are still hungry. Who's hungry? Addie, Nathan Woodington, Colin Clark, and Etienne Stalin. Going to rest after the hunt. Those guys were out on the hunt. They brought back the food. They carry the fire. Alright, everything looks cool. Let's take a look at our city just while we're letting time play here. I love the technology building. It is obviously, the game's called Frostpunk. It's obviously kind of like a steampunk, alternate history, kind of post-apocalyptic world. I love it. I'd love to see, like, apparently the next DLC is doing more stuff with lore and stuff like that. I would love to see, like, people at war in these kind of scenarios. You know, people fighting over the last little bits of resources and multiple generator towns going to war with each other and things like that. Oh man, I think that'd be so cool. People trying to steal each other's generators. I think that'd be awesome. I mean, it's not really their kind of game for that company, but I love the idea of it, like the world building of it. Because in that opening cutscene, you see all those like big machines carving up the snow, finding a path. The thing I never understood was like what really happened and why they went north when things started to get cold. You would think they go south, but maybe the cold was coming from the south. I don't know. I'm sure they have their reasons. Alright, anyway, let's rotate back to... What angle do we have? Normally this angle, is it? I don't know. Where's the stockpile? There it is. The stockpile's there. That means it's usually about this. Cool. Yeah, this is it. I remember now. I just got a little turned around. Alright, cool. So, it's free time again. We have 500 coal. That's a really great grab of coal for today. How much do we have left? 300, 400, 453. So not too bad. Not too bad. Still have a decent amount around. Getting pretty low for wood though here. So one of the next things we might have to research is sawmills, so we can actually cut up the trees that are here, the dead trees and things like that. And it looks like on day 7 the temperature's going to rise slightly. We're at 90%. We didn't finish our tech, so we'll have to finish it in the morning. Captain, some of our people are concerned about the low temperature in their homes. There's quite sensibly point out that it's easy to fall ill when it's cold and ask you to address the problem. So I could say, let's heat some homes. Let's heat all homes, or I won't address this now. So you'll have to start heating 8 cold homes within 24 hours and keep them heated for 2 days. I actually don't know if we can do that. I mean, I can kick the generator into overdrive. I'm not going to make a promise like that. That's crazy. I can't do it for 2 days, though. The generator will blow in 2 days. And I've no other way. Once the generator goes off, if I turn off that, then the heat's gone and they'll all complain. So I'm going to say I'm not going to address this. I'm sorry. I wish there was like compromise. Like, I'll heat you for 1 day. So discontent is rising slightly. Now, if this reaches full, you lose, by the way. I think if hope reaches the bottom, you lose as well. But I could be wrong with that. So what we're going to do to heat these guys up, now that work is over, we're going to kick it into overdrive. And we've given everyone a livable standard for a while. And we'll let that continue for a little while. And what we can do is actually look at our burn rate of coal. And we can see how much we were, our red line is our consumption. So this is the history. So yesterday, you know, it's been pretty consistent because we just had the generator on constantly, -144 per day. Since day 2, it's been on constantly. Now it's probably going to go up a bit. We can check it on the generator itself. Consumption rate here. So now it says 408 per day. I'm guessing because of the overdrive. That seems to be a hefty amount, though. It's not even double. That's like triple the normal burn rate that we have. But yeah, so maybe it's not very efficient. But I want to keep the people happy. Or less sick. Wisdom of the crowd. Captain, when facing demands, remember this. People usually look for the quickest solution, not the best one. You don't have to agree with everything they ask for. If you fix the problem your way, it's fine. Exactly. Exactly. I'll bear that in mind. You know what? We need the heaters. So I'm going to do emergency shift on technology. Discontent, whoa, went up a lot. But it's just these engineers. You'd think it wouldn't be that bad. But it's important that these guys get to work, finish the job, figure out how to heat homes and heat workplaces, and then everything will be good. It's necessary. All right, we're done. 100%. Now they're going to work through the night, but I'm tempted to take them off the shift now. I'm tempted to, because if you work people to the bone 24 hours a day, they're going to be really tired and they're going to be unwell. You know, they might have problems. There's things that happen, like people just get stressed out and stuff. So I don't think we should do that. I don't think we should press them when we don't need to. Now, we've taken a huge discontent hit, so the argument would be we'll get the most out of that, you know, keep them in there. But I don't know. I kind of don't think we should. Let's have a look at our other options anyway for research. So we have steam hubs, which are like mobile generators, and they obey the generator's level. So if you heat up the generator, you know, if you raise the temperature of the generator, it raises the steam hubs as well. The beacon will allow us to venture out, which is pretty important, but we're getting low on wood. So I think actually maybe sawmill and hunter's gear might be kind of more important before we do that. I might be wrong though. Let's just have a little look around at how much wood we've got left. So we got 69, 33. So that's 100 wood. And is that it? I think that's it. That's low. That's really, really low. We could find ourselves... I mean, we're not going to be building that much. That's the argument. You know, 165 wood is basically what we have when all is said and done. When all is gathered. So the question is, like, how much do we need to get us to the beacon first before we build a sawmill? But even the sawmill, I believe, costs wood to build. I think it's more important to take care of that, because if we're going to run out of wood, we're in desperate need. Desperate situation. So, sawmill it is. Yeah, sawmill it is. Take care of that first. Who's not working? We've got 5 idle workers right now. And we have food that's not been eaten yet. So, in the morning... Yeah, I'm going to wait until it's midnight and then I'll take these guys off the job. Because I'm a nice guy. Alright, so you guys, look, go home. Go home. Right? You've done great. How do I get you off this? Just go home. Hopefully that counts. You know, I don't want to get a message now in 5 minutes saying like, oh, we were on the 24-hour shift. Get the hell out of here, Christopher. You hear me? Go home. Make love to your... Oh, he's alone in the world. Make love to yourself. Alright, let's keep going. Burn rate's not actually too bad. I thought it'd be worse. Yeah, it doesn't seem too bad. And then we could turn on the heaters from here, actually. Oh, what the hell? My camera came on. Hey, so quick apologies. I just noticed that the camera was on there for a while. I must have hit a hotkey by accident in my recording software. I can't believe I've never hit that hotkey before. I didn't even know I had one. So the camera, I mean, the room was just black anyway. You couldn't see anything. So I'm probably just going to cover it with an image just to make it more visually interesting and look like it's not just a massive mistake on screen. Although that is what it is. So apologies for that. I just don't think I want to cut out 5 minutes of the Let's Play towards the end. Because I think what was happening is relevant. I did let time play, and then my doorbell rang, so I just come back. So I'm back now. All that's happened is 2 more people I think got sick from before. I haven't made any decisions or done anything. I just let time play like something like an in-game hour. So let's have a look at the people who are sick. We're getting to the end of the episode, by the way, as well, so we're going to be wrapping it up. We have Rupert Fuller, Mordecai Davidson, Ed Ward, Jan Vanna, Vin Lord, Jimmy Clarenson, Raphael Senecal, and Lucas Molina. Now, I think it's important to check... Yeah, so some of them are actually, we're processing. I mean, 2 of them are going to be done pretty soon. They're being treated, so their recovery rate isn't that long. Whereas here, they're just going to treatment. So some people are getting sick. You know, we might be at the stage, we can only house 10 sick people, and we're at 8. So we're going to go down to 6. Hopefully it doesn't get much worse than that. Especially once we get the heaters tech, or now that we have the heater tech, we can then also, can we actually turn on heaters in here? We could do that. I think livable is fine, though. I think livable is fine. But we're going to definitely turn on the heaters out in these places. So we're going to turn on the heaters on the gathering piles. And we can't actually turn them on the hunter's hut. Now, I think, actually, from what I've heard, this doesn't actually count. These people... I don't know. I could be wrong with that. I don't believe that, actually. I think if the temperature says chilly and there's 15 people working it, I think even if they are out, quote, hunting... that then they are chilly right now, so they do have a chance of getting sick. I could be wrong, but I do think that is the way it is. We'll have to see. We'll have to see. If you know, let me know in the comments, and I can address it in a future episode. But yeah, all right. So we've got 10 people not doing anything, but we just have the people on the coal piles right now, or just I keep calling them coal piles. We have the people on the gathering posts right now. We're researching, or we will be in the morning, continuing our sawmill research, which should finish throughout the day, as per usual. And we'll turn this on when normal work time begins. And that's pretty much it. We'll also turn on the heaters here and then assign 5 people to cook some food in the morning. And then we'll make, yeah, what is it? How much are we getting in again? We're getting 13 in again, hopefully in the morning. So that means we'll have about, I don't know, 25 food. Should be able to make 50 food rations, feed a bunch of people, keep people pretty happy. I think that's good. Alright, that's the time play just really quickly. That's what I want to get to, and then we'll wrap it up for day 1, or episode 1, I should say. Rotor Raban says, at least we're alive. Not everybody's so lucky. Ghost McFloat says, another day, another shift. Well, that's life. 7 being treated currently. So 1 person is out of the hospital. Rocus Noculus, alone in this world. I always feel bad for the people that are alone in the world. Ben Norcus. Charlotte Woodington, married to Nathan Woodington. Not in the city. Oh, he's out in the hunt. Alright, what time is it? It's almost work time. So let's turn this back on.
Work time. Get back to work.
Get back to work. Alright, now we're actually cooking food, and people should be pretty happy where they are. I mean, it's only chilly, for Christ's sake. It's not too bad, but we are overdriving the generator. We're burning coal probably like crazy now, but we are also gathering it pretty quickly, so that's good. But we're gonna have to turn off the overdrive soon. We'll probably have to turn it off before we actually, you know what, we'll turn it off now because people aren't necessarily at home as much. But this is inoperative. Uh-oh, that's an issue then, isn't it? So even with the heater on, that this building is inoperative, the cookhouse. That is a big issue. Is that true? Let's turn this back on for a second. I mean, it should only be 1 radius, so I'm pretty sure that is true. Yeah, it is. Huh. Okay then, because it did fall by 2 levels. Yeah. Alright, there's our problem. So that's something we're going to have to deal with in the next episode, guys. So we're going to have to maybe build and research a steam hub so we can have some external heating so that this gets heated up and things are okay. That's the trade-off of having your houses all, you know, next to the generator, having 2 medical bays. That is a little greedy on my part. Our food is going to be a problem. We've only got 7 hungry people right now, so that's not actually too bad for the situation that we have. But yeah, we're going to need, at some point, get a steam hub. So otherwise, we just can't cook food. So that's actually a pretty big priority. Now, we can cook food. Maybe we could last until day 7, when the temperature will rise. And then this will become operational again, because we'll activate the heater. So maybe we can hold out for another day without eating. We'll probably get a lot of hungry people, though. But we'll have a big abundance of raw food to get through. So we'll see. Alright, so thank you very much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed this. I love this game. Hope that comes across. I really, really do. Hope you guys like the kind of characters and patrons that we've got in the game. I think that's really awesome. At least for me, you know, recognizing the names, like I said, is pretty cool. And we haven't had to make any too radical decisions right now, but let me know what you think in terms of the direction. Should we have children working the jobs, or should we put them in child shelters? Are we going to go with radical treatment? You know, if someone does fall gravely ill, do we do anything we can to save them? Or do we just kind of put them on life support? And then therefore care houses or extra rations for the ill, soup and food additives. You know, do we add sawmill to the food to thicken it up? Or do we, you know, add water and cook soup instead of full meals, essentially? Do we have a fighting arena? Let people be entertained, but it could cause injuries. There's a lot of questions that we need to answer. So let me know what you think this kind of place should be. Eventually, we'll be introducing and thinking about religion and instilling order or faith. Alright, thank you very much for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Oh, and before I forget, all future episodes are going to be going up on the Republic of Let's Play YouTube channel. Only episode 1 goes up on this channel, and then the subsequent episodes in a series will all go on the Republic of Let's Play channel. If you want to find the channel link, it's in the description, as is the playlist link, so you can see it all in one place.